Back where we left off and the calm before the storm. We are ready for the final two showdown, the war with Cao Wei, and to give context to what this video will be concerning, Cao Cao will have built up a very large stockpile of troops while we've been annexing Sun Quan and Liu Chang. So while we have a secure southern border in its entirety and a very decent backline of troops, supply of troops coming in to reinforce us, Cao Cao at the same time will probably outnumber us, not quite 2 to 1, but not terribly far off. And it's important to acknowledge that in this game, especially compared to earlier versions in the series, the AI is actually very good at sending in reinforcements to frontline cities that are in danger of being attacked. So we will need to try to punch through the overwhelming amount of troops Cao Cao is able to throw at us using, where we can, our superior officer quality, and we'll try to attack Cao Cao from multiple points in the map, from the east, from the centre plains up through northern Jing, to hope that we can spread him thin somewhat. So starting off with Jianyi, we are going to be moving north to Guanling, and we're going to deploy an army largely centred around Sun Quan, who benefits from having a lot of confidants. So we're going to rely on largely using his family members, though as you can see here not all of them have confidant links. So we're going to make the most of Sun Quan and Sun Shanxing, Sun Yu, who is always useful, Sun Shi, who will also have an additional benefit as we'll see soon, Lu Xun, and of course Zhao Fei to act as the bodyguard to intercept the duels. So Sun Shi has the supportive trait. She also is Lu Xun's wife, so she acts as a confidant for Lu Xun. Lu Xun doesn't have many confidant links, but he has the strategy master trait, which lowers the assault and defense of enemy units, so it's not a multiplier, but in field battles it almost works like one in reverse for the enemy. Sun Luban, you see here, she's a pretty bad officer, but she does have confidant links with a lot of the other officers I'm deploying, so she's just there to act as support. And as you see, most of these units haven't even got titles, so this is the weakest army that we're deploying. And we're going for the weakest of Cao Cao's flanks, but what we need to keep in mind is not the troops he has in the city, but the tens, if not hundreds of thousands he has in the back, in the Shu province, in the northern plains, that are able to come our way. And from Chaisang, we have the newly sworn brothers of Li Yan, Wen Pin and Tai Shi Si, as you can see there. Li Yan and Wen Pin have the defensive trait, as I've mentioned in previous videos, and Tai Shi Si has the Steel General trait, so he buffs the defense further of Li Yan and Wen Pin, so their job is to act as a literal brick wall. They might not necessarily kill whatever comes their way quickly, but they will be able to more or less hold out against it. And I'm also sending Zhu Huan in arrow formation just to enact a surround and conquer, while Li Yan and Wen Pin act as a front line. And I do apologise if my voice is a little hoarse. I'm recovering from a cold at the moment, so this isn't going to be the best narration. Chaisang here. We have the armies we were using in Shu province. Where were we using them elsewhere? Possibly, but we have Wu Meng, Zhu Sheng, Wu Yi, Wei Yan, Huang Chong, who I've added for his brave leader trait that increases the siege damage to cities. Overall, not a huge amount of synergy, and of course Zhang Ren for the Steel General trait, much like Tai Shi Si. But not a huge amount of synergy, but they are very good officers, and there's a few confidant links here and there that we can make the most of. And you can see our initial full frontal assault swarm out, Lujiang and Guanling. But we're going to take this a little bit slow, as there is quite a few troops in Lujiang and we need to be somewhat careful. Now from Xianyang we are going to deploy the Guan Yu army, and what I mean by that is Guan Yu, Guan Ping, Guan Xing, Guan Suo, Zhang Bao for his link with Guan Xing, and then the confidants. Forget their names, and Bulan Qi for the supportive trait, even though she is Sun Quan's wife, Pei Qian, Wang Fu, and Chao Lei. So that is going to be our army that will be focusing on assaulting Shanyang, just to the west of Wan. So this should be a relatively strong army, capable of taking out a relatively undefended position. Our idea for this army is to blitz Shanyang and then pivot over to Wan to join my other army that will be deploying from Xinyi. You can see there's not many surrounding corps. Shanyang is notoriously weak, and we will be basically waltzing in. I think here I take a different approach from usual. So Zhao Yun, Zhang Fei, Liu Bei, and then perhaps a wife to join them. As you can see, they've got very high ranks that can command large amounts of troops, so rather than going for multiple weaker units like I've done with Guan Yu's army, I'm going for a few very strong units. That is Liu Bei, Zhang Fei and Zhao Yun. But you give Zhang Fei 18,000 troops, you give him some supporting confidants, and you give him a wife, and he is, with his brave general trait, not brave general, no, it might be actually brave general, his trait that prevents him from taking extra damage for being surrounded, he can take on whole armies by himself, especially with chain tactics firing off. So I think we're witnessing, well, Sima Yi's heading for Zitong, which I haven't talked about. I am going to just let Zitong defend itself with its gate. I'm not going to bother attacking through the mountains there, as it's incredibly painful to do so, as we've seen earlier in the series. But the initial defence at Wan is nothing to be concerned about. Small armies, weak officers. Zhang Fei, Zhao Yun, Liu Bei can absolutely clean this army up. And for a moment, Wan looks very weak, only 8,000 troops. However, I know that this isn't going to be how Wan remains. Cao Cao will reinforce that city, and oh boy will he reinforce that city with Luoyang, with Xu Cheng, with Chang'an, all within reinforcement range. It won't be as easy as it looks here. So a casual 7,000 damage from Zhang Fei there, followed up by an immediate duel, which he will naturally win without any contest. A small force coming to attack Xinyi there, but we won't need to necessarily worry about that right now. And there comes 40,000 troops supplying Wan alongside an army of 12,000. And Lu Jiang here, well, Cao Cao has taken the bait. He's fighting us on the water with one of his bandit units. Sun Quan has safely arrived on the embankment, but you can see Yu Jin just at the top of your screen there coming to reinforce, and I'm sure he'll have some allies with him. So this is not something we need to take for granted. But what Zhao Yun and Zhang Fei can do is silly amounts of damage with their unique tactics. So we can win some ridiculous battles. So we're moving on Shanyang here. There are some reinforcements on their way, but nothing that will be able to help Cao Cao retain the city. As for Xinyi, I'm now deploying the defence, which is, you may have noticed he was absent from the army, Zhuge Liang and Tong Zhu. Once Xinyi has been adequately defended, I'll be able to use these officers to reinforce the attack on Wan. we've got initially a 20,000 Zhang Fei bandit unit, or outlander unit. We've also picked up Deng Ai, who spawns around, I think, 214, 215 in Xinyi. So he is a nice addition to our army, and he's not an officer you see that often as he's quite late spawning. But here comes the main assault force from Wan. And you may have noticed I've also pivoted off Zhang Bao, as I figured I'd potentially need some reinforcements once I saw those 40,000 troops head into Wan. And things look now all of a sudden a little bit sketchy. But I have full confidence in Zhang Fei, even if we've carelessly lost his wife in battle, which is a recurring theme for my deployments. And here you see the Shanyi bandit is charged headfirst into my army, and I've just, as a result of having numerous officers surrounded him. Other than that, there's another 20,000 troop bandit outlander unit coming our way. But as long as we keep pumping troops into Xinyi from our back line, much like Cao Cao was doing with his cities in Wan, we'll be okay. And Lujiang, as soon as we've surrounded that, we will be good to go. I think once we make it to Shiting, the city will be successfully surrounded, and then we can just march on Lujiang. So over in Guanling, the enemy has made contact. So multiple battles, multiple fronts all taking place at the same time. So we can see there 1500 damage a tick. Wan, however, is very, very sketchy. Fortunately, Chang Liao decides to challenge Zhao Yun for a duel. And this could go in either direction, but it is favoured towards Zhao Yun, thanks to the duelist trait, thanks to his superior strength. And while he doesn't get the clean knockout, he does... Oh, no, he does get the knockout on bout number 5. So there's Zhang Liao's morale lowered, which is going to help us do more damage to him in the tactic. 10,000 damage straight to Zhang Liao. His very scary 20,000 cavalry unit has already been all but eliminated. So over in Jinyi, Zhao Tai is just holding the front line, he's doing his job. And in Shanyang, Cao Cao has deployed against us, but we have Guan Yu. So as soon as my brain activates and I realise I have a tactic available... Oh, no, never mind. That tactic will fire first also. Now, when I realise what I can do, Guan Yu gets one hell of a chain tactic. 20,000 damage combined to those two units. That's all but guaranteed that Shangyong falls. The power of Guan Yu and children. And we haven't even got Guan Jingping yet to complete. So Cao Chang, with his Annihilator trait, is doing a lot of damage to us at the moment, but when the turn changes, that's Assault... I should explain, your stats are updated thanks to sort of area cores and the like at the start of the turn, so he'll be significantly weaker now. So Shanyang will fall, and we're holding off. We've still got very large units. We've done 30,000 damage to Wan so far. However, the reinforcements are unrelenting. So out goes Yahoshi, who I think probably acts as a confidant for Chang Bao as well, though I could be wrong there. We've got Deng Ai in the mountains. He doesn't have any synergy with any of my other officers, but he's got vantage ground and he has snake formation in the hills, so he'll still be plenty strong. We're running out of food in Jiangxia, And we're fighting a little bit of a skirmish here, but we've got this front line of Li Yan, Wenpin and Tai Shi who just, they won't break. And Zhu Huan has nearly completed the surround and conquer move, and once I've done that I'll be able to more or less blitz my way into the city. Just gonna keep buying more food and making sure I am filling out the cores that I'm conquering. So starting off with Shangyong on speed 1 as we've got so much going on. Guanping taking a whole 1 damage from the attack of the city. Surprise attacked against Chao Yun, but because of his trait he can't be confused. Cao Chang has been captured. So that city will fall inevitably. Another 20,000 troops and in Shanye, Xianbei, Outlander formation, and I think about 20,000 reinforcement supplies coming into the city. So we haven't won yet. And 30,000 are coming to reinforce Lujiang. So Cao Cao hasn't emptied his stockpiles yet. And naturally there goes Mirshi. However, the chain tactic being between Huang Zhong and Fa Cheng gave him an extra turn. Not that it makes a huge difference. And Li Yan, Wenpin, Tai Shi. As you see, 1600 defense, 1900 defense for Li Yan and then Wenpin. So they'll be okay. So there goes Zhang Liao. Well, just about one more turn. And we've taken our first city against Cao Cao. Only Shanyong, but it still gets us 1 city closer to the ability to declare ourselves emperor. Another 40,000 supplies, reinforcements coming into one there. The city is back up to 60,000 troops. Cao Chen coming in from Xuchang, 15,000 troops. There's another 18,000 outside Xinyi. And Lujiang, we're taking some damage here, but we have surrounded the city. And I think outside Jianyi here, we're doing okay. Not Jianyi, Guanling, Sun Quan's army. And there goes our surround and conquer. So with this, we're going to all but win those little skirmishes outside of the city, and we'll be able to swarm in and take out Lujiang without too much casualties. I'm a little concerned by what's happening at Wan, so I'm just going to send out good old Chengpu. No synergies, no links, just a strong 10,000 troop unit to sit on the course so I don't get surrounded and my supplies cut off, as my supply line is looking very tenuous there. And out come another 40,000-50,000 troops from Wuhan there, including another 20,000 from Zhang Liao. We could really use Zhuge Liang in the assault of Wan at this point, but he is too busy defending Xinyi. So in terms of our successes, Wu Jiang is certainly looking to be one of them. Shanyong was definitely one of them. We've done very well attacking Wan, but we haven't actually made any progress against the city itself. But we've got a very good kill-death ratio, I suppose, is the best way to put it. Zhang Fei has unfortunately taken a lot of damage, as he isn't as strong as his father or as Zhao Yun. But he's still able to hold out for now. I'm hoping Zhang Fei fills in that slot there. So we've got a solid front line of Zhao Yun, Zhang Fei and Liu Bei and Zhang Bao. So Liu Bei in the back, Zhang Bao to the front on the western flank, and Cheng Pu coming along to try and guard our supply line. So this never really works when I try it, but I'm going to send some non-man units up around towards Hanzhuang to try and outflank the attacking force that's coming from Shanyong. Not really necessary, but the troops in Zitong aren't really doing anything else for us, so I may as well. So the resistance is melting, with their supplies cut off, with confusion affecting the troops. The southern Lujiang army is melted away, and Lu Meng is leading the charge against the city itself, as the reinforcing bandit units don't have that much strength left in them. And of course Zhao Yun's going to get a 4-man AoE disorder here, which is very, very nice. We still have Zhang Liao to contend with, and our supply line is still very, very risky. Okay, so there's Cheng Pu. Quite a few siege weapons being deployed, which isn't quite right for the occasion. But maybe Cao Cao thinks he can defeat our army and then march on to Xinyi. And all of my tactics are currently unavailable for manual use. I'm going to send Guan Yu and Guan Ping out in arrow formation to join the assault on Wan. The reason I'm using arrow formation and not fish, despite fish being overall better, is so I can get there as quickly as possible. And with Xinyi defended, I am returning the troops to the city, and hopefully they're going to be able to swing around to help out the assault against Wan as well. Battle continues. Liu Bei is starting to become exposed here. He's going to have to start to front line despite him being in goose formation, as simply don't have the officers to hold the Cao Wei swarm. They're reinforcing faster than we can kill them. Even though the city is now down to 14,000 troops, that will undoubtedly change soon. But fear not, Guan Yu and Guan Ping are on their way. And Zhang Fei's doing 1,000 damage a turn to 2 units and only taking 28 back by return. Another duel won by Zhang Fei, weakening the very defensive Cao Chen, and Zhang Bao has been captured unfortunately, but we should be able to release him. Cheng Pu and Cao Chen are in the battle. Cao Chen already wounded from his duel with we captured him? No, he's just been eliminated because his morale's run out. So Cheng Pu, this is going to be a big tactic. 14,000 damage to Zhang Liao. So there we are, we've killed 40,000 of Zhang Liao's troops so far in the assault on Wan. And And we have Guanping here getting involved in a minor duel to the east of Shanyang as they try to make their way over to the main battle, and a foregone conclusion, Lujiang has now fallen as well, so we've made some progress, 2 cities down. And it looks like Xiaoxi's going to get herself killed again, or I'm going to get her killed. She's done very well holding out though. And she's been captured. So both Zhang Fei's wife and Zhang Fei's son have been captured in these many repetitive duels. But with Guan Yu now in situ, even though Zhao Yun is taking quite heavy damage, as is Liu Bei, and there come another 40,000 troops into Wuhan. So that is, what, 120,000 troops that reinforced the city in this video alone. And we aren't even within proximity of the city, we're still on the outskirts. Oh, we've just killed one of Cao Cao's officers, that's rare. Guan Yu must be quite unhappy at the moment. So it looks like, while I have not been paying attention, the assault on Guanling is in some danger. That is 60,000 troops coming to reinforce the city. But at the same time, that's 60,000 troops not reinforcing Wuhan. So even though I probably can't take Guanling after that army's reinforced it, it's enabling my army to push forward elsewhere. So look, Chang'an still has 50,000 troops. Wuhan is very shortly back up to 60,000. As you see here, Zhuge Liang and his army are making their way into the battle for Wuhan. So though we've lost Zhang Bao, we will soon have the mighty Zhuge Liang. Gosh, 59,000 troops still there. We've got a long way to go. So how is it going over here? Well, not good, but not terrible at the same time. Lu Xun set everyone on fire, both enemy and ally. And the reason we use Zhao Tai has just been demonstrated. He's just absorbed a duel for Sun Quan, which he's proceeded to win. So much fire, and no matter how strong your unit, you can't mitigate fire damage. And 13,000 troops from Zhu Huang in arrow formation coming to cause absolute havoc to Sun Quan's army. Lu Xun really is helping, and look there, you may have seen just for a moment 1700 attack and defense from Sun Quan. That's up there with Zhao Yun, Zhang Fei. This is the crux of why I use this army. So there we are, 67,000 troops in Wuhan. And I talk about fish formation being the best whenever really the opportunity presents itself, but in battles like this is where goose formation really shines, as Wu Jun and Sun Shangxiang are really able to hit hard. They do a lot of damage while receiving none at the same time. So even though this isn't the best army, it's still doing quite a bit of damage. Oof. That's a very painful volley from Xu Huang there. And a very weak volley back in return from Sun Shangxuan. There goes Sun Yu, unfortunately, which leaves a gaping hole in our army, and Sun Yu immediately dies of old age, so he would have died in one turn. We used him right up until the end. Couldn't ask for more. He is of the Sun Ce era of Wu officers that unfortunately die young. And even though he's not massively prominent in the novel in this game because of his confidant links, he's actually a surprisingly useful officer, and he makes an appearance in the core of my Sun Ce armies quite often, as if you've watched my Sun Ce videos, you'll have seen him appear. Okay, so now I am going to try and make a push for Shoucheng, though it is a notoriously difficult city to attack because it has wide open surrounding areas that are difficult to take before you assault the city if marching from the south. Sima Yi is still throwing himself at the gate. Zhao Tai's got himself in another duel, which he should win effortlessly. And he does, and I think he just killed 9,000 troops by doing that. So we've done very, very well ultimately here. Though if I was playing sensibly, I would have considered this, a reasonable opportunity to retreat, having done a lot of damage and regrouping and resuming my attack, but I think I continue to press on with very weakened forces. And out on the outskirts of Wan, I can see that Cao Cao's deployed reinforcements from, oh Jesus, 37,000 more troops being reinforced from Chang'an, and then another unit of 15,000. So Wan has 100,000 troops still in situ, reinforcements 15,000 from Xuchang. I am losing the ability to speak, much like I was losing the ability to fight through these countless hordes of Cao Cao's armies, and Xuchang still has 60,000 troops in it. There are so many reinforcements making their way through his army. We are drowning in the bodies of Cao Wei officers. So, we are now just waiting for Cao Cao to decide to attack us again, though I can see imminent disaster, which is what's happened here. Cao Cao has caught me in a surround and conquer, but as you can see, thanks to Guan Ping's position, through one single tile, I am not cut off from my supply line. One tile, so that was almost a catastrophic disaster, but we've narrowly avoided it. And we now need to hurry up and get some food in place for where it's needed. And my Shanyuan units have been cut off from their supply and they're just going to evaporate. They can't be captured at the very least. But what a waste of 40,000 troops. As for the defence of Shenyang, I'll be using the Guan Yu army minus Guan Yu himself. Cao Cao hasn't deployed for us yet, which gives me an opportunity to salvage my supply line. Just about. Oh, we are at danger of being cut off here though. And as you can just about see to the west there, the Shenyang Guan Yu army is deployed and is defending the outskirts of the city. And from Shouchun, I am starting to make my way. Oh, we are cut off. We are completely cut off. Is that a surround and conquer? We may be able to flip this around. Though we are cut off, I don't think it will be unsalvageable. Though it does set back our attack on the city a little bit. So Guanling is looking okay. Bit weak, but otherwise okay. No, I don't think he's going to give me an area for those two officers. Yep, there we are ranked, so we have got a surround and conquer here that we can activate to save ourselves. And we have perhaps played it a bit too dangerously and Guanling has redeployed for us. The city is quite weak, but at the same time, so are we. And Chengpu has died of old age. So we managed to help out our assault against Xianyi. Ooh. There's another surround and conquer. He sure likes these today. But Chengpu, he managed to assist our assault on Jiangyang. And then surround and conquer by return. Before dying of old age. So, nice send-off for Chengpu. But this assault on Guanling is going to be a little bit too close to call. Still no deployment from Wan, which is surprising in a way. But the assault on Guanling seems to be going against us. Now I am very foolishly moving right up towards the city without taking the surrounding cores and without having my top tier army being a sort of offensive force. And you can see there's some reinforcements coming in from the north. This is going to be the prelude to disaster. So Guanling, we got it down to 2,500 troops, but we're so close. But we're running out of troops very rapidly. So switching back over to Shouchun, I can see what disaster I've invited for myself. Those 20,000 troops, the Shanya units, are going to want to fall with me. Defense of Shenyang with this army, no problem at all. Some of the bandit units even made it all the way around from Zitong over to Shenyang, so that's incredible. We're set up in position, ready to march on Wan, which has been the goal for the past hour. There are just so many reinforcing troops coming from Cao Cao. And look at that, Wu Yi is completely melting. even with a good 2,000 damage to the city. Zeton Gate has fallen, but Sima Yi won't be able to take the city by himself. It was more of a delaying tactic than an effort to really hold him back forever. But we are in trouble here. So, I think this is where I am going to leave the video. We have had two successful assaults, Shanyong and Lujiang. We've taken 2 cities. We, however, have failed to take Wanling and failed to take Shouchun, and we are still waiting to see if the assault on Wan will be successful. So I think the next episodes will be the finale to the series, where we will hopefully break through Cao Cao, smash through Wan, smash into Zhujiang, declare ourselves emperor, and end on being the strongest force in China. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next final episode.